Thank you, Angelo. Good morning, friends. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration here at the temple. I am practitioner Jennifer Livingstone, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here on this beautiful Sunday morning. It's nice and warm and sunny and bright, and we are just going to have a real good time in this morning's celebration. And so, as we do here at the center, all things begin with God. And so I ask you to just tune in, while I also extend welcome to those of you online. My apologies for that. But we know you're right here with us. So as we become still, let us just gently close our eyes as we recognize that one presence and power, God, operating in, through, and as each one of us this morning. I know that that presence now conducts every idea that is necessary for this morning's celebration. So I know that every word that proceeds from our mouths are spoken unto their own fulfillment. And I know that every activity takes place in time, on time, with good to all concerned. And so I know that as we come together, both those in the sanctuary and those of us joining us online, that truly this is the day that the Lord has made, and we rejoice and we give thanks as together we live in it. I accept this and I believe this to be the truth as I release this word to law, giving thanks that all this is already so. So it is. And now please join me in our chant this morning, Sweep Over My Soul. And that's on page 2 of your program, and the words are on screen.
Sweep over my soul. Sweep over my soul. Come, gracious Spirit, sweep over my soul. Sweep love and peace. Sweep in love and peace. Come, gracious Spirit, sweep in love and peace. Sweep peace and joy. Sweep in grace and joy. Come, gracious Spirit, sweep in grace and joy.
And now the Lord is in his holy temple. Let us all keep silence here before him. Let us simply go within as we take the thought that there is only one, and that one is God. Now, gently open your eyes and return to this space. Welcome back, and please join me in the inspirational reading. And today, that is from our Richer Living by Dr. Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker, and it says, I am held in the goodness of God. Today, I know that my good is at hand. I see this good in persons and places and things. Nothing but goodness can go from me, and nothing but goodness can return to me. There is nothing unlike goodness in my experience. There is nothing but kindness, nothing but generosity. My whole inner being responds to this goodness, recognizing it everywhere. Feeling it in everyone, I draw this goodness to me and become saturated with it. It goes out from me in every direction, blessing everything it touches and helping everyone, bringing wholeness and happiness to everyone to whom I come in contact. His goodness endureth forever, and I endure forever. In joy then I awake to every new day. In joy I rest in the eternal goodness, and evermore there is a song in my heart as it overflows with the acknowledgement of good. And so it is. Friends, I will now light the youth candle on behalf of all the youth of the world as we behold the Christ in them. And now let us say the blessing, which is on page 2. We love you, we appreciate you, we salute the Christ in you, and we see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now, and so it is. And now our temple mission song.
Prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
Yay! Okay, thank you. As they go off to their young adults and teens workshop, please join me then in the affirmation of divine love that's on the top of page 3 of your program, and the words are on screen. Together, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes, divine love adjusts, divine love prospers, divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. And now I'd like to invite you to stand for our praise song, Inner My Heart. It's on page 3 and words on screen. Please stand.
Lord, I want to be more loving in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be more loving in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be more loving in my heart. Yes, I'm going to be more cheerful in my heart, in my heart. Yes, I'm going to be more cheerful in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Yes, I'm going to be more cheerful in my heart. I shall radiate God's heaven in my heart, in my heart. I shall radiate God's heaven in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. I shall radiate God's heaven in my heart.
And indeed, as I look out on you, you are radiating God's heavens from your faces. Please remain standing and join me in the prayer of our center. Words are on screen and it's on a flyer in your program. Together, the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the Christ peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. And now please join me in a few brief announcements for today, Sunday, February 19th. Do we have anyone visiting with us for the first time this morning in person? And if so, can you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Any first-timers? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I recognize you as Mrs. Pauline Nathan. Okay, thank you for being here. I understand that you had been with us many years ago, so we welcome you back to our hearts and to our home. Thank you for being. We behold the Christ in you. Thank you. And for those of you online, for the first time, welcome to our hearts. Our floral arrangements this morning, and they are glorious, are a gift from the family of our late member, Karen Gentles, whose Thanksgiving service took place on Friday afternoon. And they were exquisitely arranged by one of our floral angels, Mrs. Judith Dare. Let us thank the family and thank Judith for arranging. And so for the schedule of our regular activities, you can refer to the flyer in your programs of significant events for further details. But I'd like to highlight a few. Please join us this Tuesday at 6 p.m. for a spiritual mind healing service, and it will be hosted by our practitioner, Carol Charlton, and I know that she will bring us a message filled with practical inspiration. So the Zoom link will be sent out from our mailing list on Tuesday morning, and if you're not yet on our mailing list, please do leave your contact before you go at our usher's desk. In addition, directly after our morning service today, please join Angela for her insightful discussion program, Wisdom Circle. And this series is based on the book, The Science of Successful Living by Raymond Charles Barker. So that's immediately following this morning service here in the sanctuary for Wisdom Circle at 10:30. Prayer Power, that continues on Thursdays at 6 p.m. So join us for an hour of prayer and meditation. And the Zoom link for that is also sent out on our mailing list on Thursday mornings. On March 2nd, the Temple of Lights hosts the award-winning benefit performance of No Hope for Hopi, directed by our own T.K. Dawkins and her dad, Basil Dawkins, the writer of the play. Tickets are available, and you can see me after service, and I will be having tickets on sale. And then, please remember, your membership pledge, the annual membership pledge for 2023 is now due. We ask that you kindly pick up your envelopes at the usher's desk, either on your way in or when you're leaving. It's clearly indicated. And we ask that you make your payment and drop it in that envelope. You can take it in during the week, or you can put it in the collection basket on a Sunday morning. But our annual membership pledge is now due, and I can remind you that the fees for that is $6,000. And if you have an envelope and you're not paying all at once, then you can keep putting your contributions together until you're ready. You drop them off here at the office. And then Ash Wednesday. As you know, this Wednesday, February 22nd, we will be hosting our usual day of silence. So please join us at 6 a.m. for meditation in the garden, and then we will walk the labyrinth immediately following at around 7 a.m. Following which we will go home, and we will continue from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. with affirmative prayers, music, contemplation, and meditations, and along with which there's an accompanying booklet, you can see it here, 40 Days of Letting Go, a gift from Reverend Sheila McKeithon, and it's available for collection for study during the Lenten season, and details of this will be sent out to you in your emails. So remember, Ash Wednesday, this Wednesday, we will start at 6 a.m. with meditation with Rev Ann Shand in the meditation garden. Then we will walk the labyrinth at 7 a.m. and then we will go home to continue online. The Zoom link will be sent out in your emails. Look forward to all of you participating with us. And for those of you online, you will have an opportunity to participate by joining our Zoom link. And then a reminder of classes. That classes continues on Wednesday, and this Wednesday we will be hosting the class Spiritual Laws, even though it's Ash Wednesday, But that's at 7 p.m., so kindly register online at classes.templeoflightcsl.org, where you can find all of the details. In addition, classes on Thursday morning continues with Reverend Ann, and on Thursday evenings with Reverend Sonia and practitioner Steve Golding continues as well. And now, friends, our monthly Lifeline series, which happens, as you know, every last Thursday, will be held this Thursday, October 23rd, and the details of that...
October?
Sorry. Really, something special will happen on October 23rd. Trust me on that one. On February 23rd, this Thursday, and it will be usual time, 6 p.m., so please look out for the details. And as you know, prayer power then is going to be at 5 p.m. this Thursday, and I had announced 6. Friends, for prayer support, we continue to respond to all your requests for prayer, and a practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following our Sunday service. Today, practitioner Courtney Johnson will be on duty, and the number to call is 876-289-0907. And if you wish to speak to a minister or practitioner Mondays to Friday from 8 a.m. to midnight, please call the same number. That number again, 876-289-0907. And friends, we thank you for your continued support of our ministry, for your kind donations and offerings. And to continue to support us, please visit our donate.templeoflightcsl.org, where you will find all of our banking details. We thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light in the world. This concludes our announcements. Please join me in the singing of our first hymn, Immortal Love. It's on a flyer in the program.
Immortal love, forever full, forever flowing free, forever shared, forever whole, and never ebbing sea. All atmosphere and systems full, and every symbol waves. Thy spirit in and over all eternally remains. Oh, love, awaken us and blow the mist of doubt away. Shine out, oh love divine, and show the glory of each day. Immortal love, forever full, forever flowing free, forever shared, forever whole, in us forever be.
Thank you, friends. Please be seated. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning, who I know will bring us another insightful and inspirational, practical applications of the teachings of truth. Please help me welcome to the podium our own Rev Ann Shand, our assistant minister, who is now holding the post of our senior pastor until we go through our process. Welcome, Reverend Ann, please.
Thank you, Jen. Welcome, welcome to all of you. And welcome to those joining us online. This is our beautiful, sunny, bright Jamaica. And we're so happy that you can join us, this lighthouse of collective consciousness, revealing love, joy, peace, and prosperity to all. That is our vision. This morning, we continue to celebrate our ever-expanding awareness of the presence of life and love in us, as us, and around us. I'm sharing thoughts this morning based on our fourth declaration of principles. So my theme is, heaven is right here. Live it. You don't agree with me?
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Heaven, we started this morning, I shall radiate God's heaven. That means we're already living in it. So we need to awaken more to that experience of heaven right here. Last time we shared two of our declaration of principles, tenets crafted by Dr. Ernest Holmes, on which the pillars of the teaching the science of mind and spirit rest. They are, we believe in God, the living spirit almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. The second is we believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. And the third, which we understand to be, we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. That means clearly that all those who have proceeded on their assignments are not here physically. They are still forever moving on their journey and part of our experience. Life is eternal. Those three declarations set the stage for our introductory 2 steps of how we pray. Our affirmative prayer is the linchpin of our teaching as we practice praying affirmatively, which is a scientific method. It is provable, which we use to usher ourselves into the awakening of experiencing life more abundant. The 2 introductory steps are recognition and identification. Those 2 firmly plant in mind our roots as spiritual beings having a human experience. It informs us of our origin, as in the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, that 2 of the 4 elements that are usually contained in our prayer that works in thought, that is creative. Recognition, we know that there's one life and that life is God. There's one creator, one creation, one law, one intelligence, one ultimate reality. It is good, whole, perfect, complete, and harmonious. Identification, we identify ourselves with God. I am that which thou art that which I am. The Father and I are one. Dr. Holmes says something which we must pay attention to. He says, there needs to be a conscious, intelligent, sensing and feeling of the divine presence within and as what we are. We are a creation of God, all of us. We are expressing God. There is no separation between us and God. We are one. So friends, in order to truly manifest or realize our sacred origin, there needs to be a conscious, intelligent, sensing and feeling of the divine presence within and as what we are. This is the basis for effective prayer. A conscious, which means deliberate, purposeful, studied, intelligent, discerning, well thought out, educated, sensing and feeling of the divine presence within and as what we are. Our methods, though individual, must deepen and realize this presence which is revealed through our experiences of life. In other words, you, me, we are our prayers. Why? Our prayers are our mission, our purpose and calling, which is inherent in each individual creation of God. Our mission then, which we have decided as a community, is to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love, and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us. We can do this through various methodologies. We educate, we teach, we do spiritual coaching, we counsel, and yes, we build our community. But friends, inherently, it must be a daily practice, a way of being and a way of living. And in the words of our practitioner behind me, it must be the heart of our way and the way of our heart. Once we practice, then we can truly live the fourth declaration of principles, which is, we believe that the kingdom of heaven is within man. And we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. So we believe that. So let us practice what we say, right? So the kingdom of heaven is within all of us, and we are going to take steps to live in that heaven of our experience. Because yes, it is individual, everybody having different. Some want this, some want that. But the fact is that it must be good, harmonious, peaceful, joyful, and prosperous. The word heaven from the dictionary literally means territory, realm associated with, or regarded as being under the control of a particular person or thing, and the spiritual reign or authority of God. In some religions, heaven is a place, an abode of God, or informally a state of supreme bliss, or paradise, or a transcendent supernatural place. However, I quote from Living the Science of Mind by Dr. Ernest Holmes. He says, the kingdom of heaven means the kingdom of harmony, of peace, of joy, and of wholeness. It is an inward kingdom. Heaven is not a place, but an inward awareness of divine harmony and truth. Jesus the Christ, in Luke 17, verse 21, reminds us that the kingdom of God cometh not from observation, neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. End of quote. This certainly refers to a state of inner awareness. Dr. Holmes goes on to state that the kingdom of heaven is something we possess, but have not been conscious of it. It is neither in the mountain or in Jerusalem, but within the mind. The power to live is within the self, implanted by the divine. So simply, friends, we are the rulers of our inner kingdom, the realm of our mind, which ultimately projects as the experiences of our world. This realm of our mind, which our heaven of consciousness is, we live, move, and have our being in it. This inner treasure of life, described by Plato as the good and the beautiful, Plotinus as the infinite, Emerson called it the oversoul. This inner transcendental reality, which is our responsibility to reveal through our experiences. The word heaven comes from the Greek word oranos, which means expanding. In the words of Eric Butterer, then the kingdom of heaven is a principle of expansion. Life, he states, is a limitless experience in an expanding universe. It is growth and unfoldment. It is lived from inside out. End of quote. Jesus the Christ went on to a lot of trouble to teach that the state of heaven is something to be. In Matthew 13, which is termed the Sermon of the Sea, Sermon by the Sea, Jesus the Christ speaks of 8 parables all about the kingdom of heaven, which is likened to seeds, the parable of the sower, the wheat and the tares, the mustard seed, the leaven in the measures of meal. It is also the hidden treasure in a field, the pearl of great price, the dragnet, and the householder with treasures of new and old. But what has that got to do with me on an everyday level, Reverend Ann, you may ask? Seeds are ideas. The field is our mind of awareness. The pearl of great price, the treasure in our household, are the truths of life. Simply, we are the authority of our minds. We infuse our conscious awareness with seed ideas of expansion and unfoldment, and we guard well the truths of life within, which we utilize to determine our experience of heaven on this plane of existence. Life is simply lived from the inside, and it does not matter your station in life, or possessions, or educational background. We unfold in layers of consciousness. St. John 14, verse 2 in the Judeo-Christian Bible, "In my Father's house there are many mansions." End of quote. Therefore, we can move from the basement of pure materialism, which is focused on form, or we can evolve up to being the cause of our experiences and live a life of happiness and success. In fact, Butterworth gives a story of a precocious young lad standing on a corner. A minister passing by stopped for a moment to play his role. Patting the boy on the head, he said, "Sonny boy, who made you?" The little fellow looked up and said, somewhat impatiently, as though young people are impatient with adults, he said, you don't know. So the young fellow looked up and said, somewhat impatient, "Well, to tell you the truth, sir, I ain't done yet. To tell you the truth, sir, I ain't done yet." Friends, this is true of us all. No matter the levels of experiences, we are not done yet. There is more to all of us, and the process of building consciousness is integral to our experience of heaven right here and now. So let us live it. The process is in our hands. Yes, some of us are moving in different phases of our life's unfoldment. And that saying, which I heard from one of our practitioners, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Delete, delete, delete. It is not true. It is not even a default position. Everyone has the capacity right now to transcend into that which is the inward harmony, the inward kingdom of harmony, peace, joy, wholeness, levels of conscious awareness. It is abundant, prosperous living, and it is heaven right now, which we all have within us. Dr. James Fowler, in his book, Stages of Faith, The Psychology of Human Development and the Quest for Meaning, talks about 6 stages of faith. In stage 5 of his book, he says that this is what you call conjunctive faith, which occurs in midlife. A lot of living has gone on in the years between late adolescence and midlife. Living that has called our faith into question and pointed out the scarcity of answers we have to big questions like, who am I? What is life all about? We ask ourselves that from time to time. But what he's saying is that early on in our life's unfoldment, the stages of faith were based on figuring out the boundaries of things. We're getting accustomed to how life unfolds and how our position in it. Whereas now in the 5th stage, there's a lot of inconsistencies happening in our life, paradoxes, and we now have to have an openness to truths which we felt originally was opposite to where we were going in the achievement of our life's goals. But in this phase now, in midlife you call it, we think deeper, grasp ideas at a deeper level of awareness, and now we are ready to integrate, create experiences that we once denied ourselves or it just didn't fit in our way of living. So now we evolve now into this state where we are open to ideas that allow us to experience more of ourselves. So we can stretch ourselves into a higher phase of conscious awareness by embracing compassion, because we now have the knowledge and understanding that we recognize our oneness with all of life, and we recognize our oneness with each other. That is why we are trying to build community now, because we are in support of each one of us growing and unfolding into that which we were created to be. So we are now committed to making the kingdom actual, this heaven, by experiencing and expressing a world of connectedness, understanding, wise use of resources, kindness, truly living from our divinity. So we let go of the old platitudes and embrace new patterns of being by embodying seed ideas that come from Philippians 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things, end of quote. So how do we ensure that our minds remain fertile to allow these seed ideas to expand in us, permitting limitless living? We mentioned earlier effective prayer. First two steps, recognition of life. The second, identification with the life of God. And this third step, which we now affirm as the heaven of our experience. So friends, we are able to embrace now the truths of life, live it, and culture it from this inner sanctuary of our being, this pearl of great price, which governs our life and our experiences. So we can sift out behavior patterns that will not serve us in creating the heaven of our being. Nothing must compromise our practice of principle. We must live with integrity, as our daily walk must be in tandem with the truths of life, which is now our prayer. We constructively develop our intuitive skills in order to receive more inner cues that will support our realization of the state of harmony, love, peace, joy, and wholeness. And what is intuition? It is spirit knowing itself. So spirit already knows itself as the peace, the harmony, and the joy and the wholeness. It's just for us to awaken to it. So we can give up behaviors and habits that don't fully embrace that Christ consciousness within it. Another name for that is forgiveness, which as we get older, it's easier for us to let go. We must continue, friends, to enlarge our views, lift up our concept of life, and deepen our relationship and awareness of our God life. This process is dynamic, always moving, evolving, and unfolding. Isn't that true? I mean, every day something new is happening, and you have to put yourself on that platform that you are open and receptive rather than closed off and say, okay. But the fact is that we can be all that we can be. There is no departure lounge to sit in quiet repose. Let me repeat that. There is no departure lounge to sit in quiet repose. It is up to each individual to seek the light of truth, know our place and purpose on this eternal movement of life. And no matter the twists, the turns, the slipping and the fall down, we get back up, learning the lessons, dissolving the barriers, and transcending what no longer assists us, and embrace this new way of being and step up into a new spiritual experience of our journey. I share an affirmation from Reverend Earl of the CSL Heart and Soul Center of Light of Oakland, California. One of our members visited us 2 weeks ago, I think, yes. The affirmation goes like this: I engage divine mind and realize the best way and means to call forth divine love so that harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness is experienced by all. I'll break that down, and you can say it with me. I engage divine mind.
I engage my mind
and realize the best ways and means
and realize the best ways and means
to call forth divine love
to call forth divine love
so that harmony, peace, cooperation, unity,
peace, cooperation, unity,
and mutual helpfulness is experienced by all. That affirmation is spot on, because we trust and affirm our divine good into manifestation and know that we are guided into a deeper awareness of who we are and understanding that it is the same for every individual. Those who are physically in contact with us, or we can prepare for the entire world and know that at every single point in the universe, they are experiencing their divine good. Friends, this vibration of love and grace and connection must indeed usher us into the heaven of our awareness. We have already announced Ash Wednesday, where we start on our temple property. We have our early morning meditation and prayer. And we have a walking the labyrinth where we get to send radiating peace energy out to bless the world. Afterwards, we go home in silence, and from the hours of 8 to 3, we have the Zoom platform, the church's Zoom platform, and you can open it and experience an affirmative prayer on the hour. There'll be affirmations, and there will be music to meditate with. What a wonderful way to start this process of ushering us into an experience of heaven. Friends, it's time to be conscious, to be deliberate, to be constructive in setting the platform for a new playbook which enhances our upward spiritual growth into that which we were created to be, living in the heaven of our God consciousness. Let us not be afraid to seek this consciousness. Work at it consistently by using the spiritual practices that we have been taught. Let us experiment in the laboratory of our minds. Limitation and lack is to delete. And now let us embrace limitless living. Let us continue to cooperate with the outpush of the divine urge, because that is what it is in us. Spirit is always moving upon itself to experience anew within each one of us, and to allow us to really truly experience this heaven in our life's unfoldment. I leave with you this quote from The Gentle Art of Blessing by Rev Ann. It says, "The principle of infinite harmony and love governing the universe is intensely concerned about your happiness and just will not let you go until you have reached total bliss and infinite fulfillment." Total bliss and infinite fulfillment is the truth about each one of us. So let us begin our practice, because you're going home to practice. Close your eyes. Say with me, God is light.
God is light.
I am light.
I am light.
My mind is filled with ideas
My mind is filled with ideas
that foster
that foster
a heaven of love,
a heaven of love,
peace,
peace,
joy,
joy,
perfection
perfection,
in pure bliss.
in pure bliss.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yes, friends, the pure bliss of heaven. The doors are open. Step in. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Ann, for that message. Again, another thoughtful, insightful, and practical application of the teachings of the science of mind. Friends, she reminds us that affirmative prayer is our linchpin of our teaching, and that we should concentrate on our recognition and unification with the One. Rev Ann also spoke about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of joy, harmony, and inner peace, that we possess this kingdom right here and right now, and that it does not matter the level of our experience, we are not done yet. So my friends, I would ask you at this time, especially during this period which we all recognize as the Lenten season, that we commit to the laboratories of our mind and let us bring forth this teaching. As she says, heaven is right here, let's live it. Let us give her another round of applause. Thank you. And just so that you know, you take your programs home, the Declaration of Principles for which she spoke is on the inside front cover, so you can read them at any time. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our musical item this morning. And we have the special treat of having one of our young adults, Miss Abigail Alcock, who is our songbird this morning. Welcome, Abigail. Please give her a round of applause.
He was there when life began, made the earth, created man, spun the worlds in space. They stood, looked down, saw it was good. He was there to count the stars, set your sights on worlds afar, scanned the heavens, formed a plan, looked down, saw need of man. He sees the little sparrow fall. He hears a child's first prayer. He watches over one and all when you call. He is there. Now by faith I clearly see what he meant by follow me. Step by step he leads my way each day.
Wow. 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 Beautiful. Oh my darling. Wow. Good girl.
Abby,
Good girl.
good job, Abby. So friends, to remind us, just set your sights and reach. Oh, Lord, thank you so much, Abby. Set your sights, man, on experiencing the heaven. I mean, the old stuff can't work. Angela, thank you so much. I mean, this is a little promise you give. Thank you so much. Oh, God. It's good to be in a community like this that supports every way of our journey. So let us stand and say the prayer of our Jamaica and know that every single Jamaican is experiencing the goodness of God. Together, the radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. the eternal light of God's love, now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. We're still standing. Our final hymn, All Hail the Power. And it's on the screen.
All hail the power of truth to save from error's binding thrall. Let joyful songs of praise abound, for God is all in all. Let joyful songs of praise abound, for God is all in all. Let all whose hearts are heaven turned listen to the Spirit's call. Know that our God is ever same, and love is Lord of all. Know that our God is ever same, and love is God of all. One God and Father of us all, there's no great nor small. In Him we live and move and breathe, and love is Lord of all. In Him we live and move and breathe, and love is Lord of all.
Oh, yes. As we join in this affirmative or love offering blessing, beg your pardon. It's on your envelope and it's on the screen. Together, lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase, and multiply. And
Bless, prosper,
and
and enrich
everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. Truly we give thanks for the abundant blessings of love that is even now pouring forth in through us, each one of us. We allow ourselves to give of time, talent, treasure, and conscious awareness as we support and celebrate that divine love that created us out of itself and its givingness that pour forth in our life as the many blessings that flow unimpeded in our experience. We experience harmony, peace, love, joy, and prosperity. And I know for each one of us, as beacons of light, we radiate that peace, that love, that harmony, and prosperity to all. This is indeed the Dharma of our community. And I know as we continue to just let that presence fulfill itself as pure bliss in our lives, we rest in that heaven of our experience and know at all times life is good, life is great, because we are indeed open our minds to that table of infinite possibilities spread before us. So we just let go now and let that presence fulfill those marvelous blessings in our life and affairs. We go forth today and know that our pathway is always safe, secure, and easy as the love of God goes before us. The presence of God protects us, and indeed that mighty I am that is within us is truly experiencing itself is in and as each one of us. This is the truth. I release my word to that law with thanksgiving and know that it is so, and so it is. And we'll now have our peace song. Instead of peace, we sing love. We can now go up and drop our love offering in the boxes while we sing. Together. Yes, there is love on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is love on earth, the love that was meant to be, with God as our parent, family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, love begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in love eternally. Yes, there is love on earth, and yes, it begins with me. So friends, join Carol on Tuesday evening. Remember, Lifeline will be sending out the links to you. Remember, classes. And see you back here for Practitioner Sunday, same place, next time. See you on Sunday and have a wonderful, love-filled day as you experience. Ash Wednesday as well, the 22nd. We'll be here for those early risers, but the rest can join us on Zoom between 8 and 3 o'clock. And we have Rhythm Circle right after the morning service. So come and join us and just allow your consciousness to be just filled with the truths of life with Set Free. Have a wonderful week, friends, and see you same place next week. Thank you for coming.